I've been having this issue with my hands since the mid-2000s, where if I irritate my hands with something such as a moisturizer or some kind of a weird, there's been various things over the years that I found, like hay for some reason. Certain kinds of hay can make my whole arm break out. Fur. Remember I told you guys when we first got Jasper, for the whole first week we got Jasper, my whole body itched. And then after that week, it leveled out. I think my body built up the immunity to cat dander. And since then, it hasn't been a problem. But the point I'm making here is my skin sucks. It's terrible. It's really bad. When you have an issue like this, it could be debilitating to your life. And this is one of the things I don't like talking about is medical issues. All right. Crestfallen did a super chat and said, "Are you ever going to stop snorting so much?" If my postnasal drip magically cured itself and I never had it dripping down the back of my throat to the point where it hindered my my talking or my breathing, I would immediately stop snorting. Like that moment that it stopped dripping, I would stop snorting. It's literally cause and effect. I don't want to do it. It's disgusting. It sounds disgusting. But if I don't do it, I will cough because I have postnasal drip that pours down the back of my throat. Particularly today, it's not that bad at all, actually. In regards to alternatives to red meat. For those who don't know, I have a condition where I cannot really eat that much red meat. It is called gout. It is an imbalance of acid in my body. And if I eat too much red meat, basically I get incredible swelling in my joints, pain. Basically what happens is these uric acid crystals build up in my joints, and it's very, very painful. I can't walk. I'm basically on my ass for days. It's not a good deal, okay? I have a lot of them, all right? To be transparent with my audience now, because I know almost never talk about this, I have a lot of medical issues. Basically, I was gifted a body that has a lot of shortcomings, okay? And I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to tell you about all the doctor visits that I have and all the money that I spend on medical shit, because it's not worth it. It's a waste of everyone's time, and it's neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with what I do on my streams, okay? But this is just one of the ongoing things that I've had my whole life that I've had to deal with, okay? Now, if you haven't noticed, it's never really affected things. Ever, right? You can look at my 15-year history as a content creator, and how many times have I really had to mention anything like this? Pretty much never, right? So here's what happened over the last year, okay? I got another skin rash on my hands, and when I get it, usually it feels like it's an allergic reaction, like something directly in my environment happened that made my hands get a rash that itches, okay? Now, normally, if I just ignore the rash and I don't scratch it, I do nothing to it, after a few days to a week, the rash will start to go away, and then eventually it's gone. It's not a big deal, okay? Last year, around the middle of the year, I got one of these rashes, and I couldn't figure out what was causing it. First, I thought maybe it's new body wash that I'm trying. Maybe it's that we're using certain hand soaps in the house, and these hand soaps have a moisturizer in it that's reacting to my skin, or whatever it could be, right? I don't know. I tried like a million things over the course of like the last 8 months. I've tried changing so many different things to try to get this hand rash to clear up. And what I will tell you is the weird part about it was sometimes it would look like it was clearing up, and then it would come back again. And then it would look like it's going away, and then it would come back again. And it was so annoying, all right? And like, what could possibly be causing this coming back, going away, coming back, going away? And of course, you try to be self-diagnosing. You're going online, you're trying to find shit. And of course, every possibility, some of it doesn't even make sense. You're like, oh, it could be diet. How could it be diet if it's only on my hands? This would make sense if like the skin all over my body was having issues. It's only on my hands. So obviously there's something going on here, right? So anyway, with all this going on, I get so busy with everything. I kind of forget about it. I don't pay attention to it. And what ended up happening was, basically in January, the shit hit the fan. Let's put it that way. In January, this rash got so bad, out of nowhere. And by the way, it could have been because it's dry now, too. It's cold and dry, right? It got really cold in December, January here. So because the temperatures dipped, the air is dry or whatever, okay? The rash not only was an itchy rash, it turned into dry skin. It turned into cracked skin. My skin started to actually cut. That is not good. It's one thing if you have a rash. It's another thing if your skin is now starting to cut itself. Because if it does, now you have pain, now you have bleeding, and now you have oozing. And that's disgusting. And thankfully, I never showed it to you guys on stream, and you guys never really noticed it, but it got really bad. And then it got so bad, okay, that I had to start bandaging my left hand because I have a patch here where the skin was so disgusting that it was oozing everywhere. It was fucking nasty, okay, to say the least, all right? So I've never had anything like this before. Again, I've had this skin issue since the mid-2000s. I actually started having it when I worked at that office job that I told you guys, the helicopter job. I started having this issue where I noticed certain things would make my hands have a reaction. Like one day I was using hand sanitizer that had moisturizer in it. Boom, my hands broke out, okay? But since then, I've been really good about finding and identifying things that cause this problem and basically narrowing it down and then eliminating those things from my lifestyle so they don't bother me that much. It's not a big deal. That's not cool. I already have enough issues. Like I said, you guys don't know about my health issues and shit because I don't tell you about them. The one you know about is my post-nasal drip because that's the one that affects the streams. When I have this dripping and I have to snort to clear it up or clear my throat constantly, yeah, that's really annoying, especially during the springtime when my allergies kick in and it really annoys me and you. I lose my voice and shit. But that's the only one that's really ever affected the streams. You also know that I have gout. Online, and after what everyone's been telling me, it sounds to me like I might have gout from years and years and years ago when I kind of admitted it publicly, not realizing that basically people would make fun of me for it, which is fucked up. Oh, really? Sniper Disc, tip me $1. If you go to the mini island behind the water tower, you can catch a Gaussian there. It's a fire-type pseudo-legendary, my personal favorite. See, what's funny is his name is Sniper Disc, so I know he's basically trying to say Gaussian. That's supposed to be some kind of an insult because I have gout. But I haven't been insulted about people talking about that in years. I've talked about it publicly a million times. So I think he's a little off the mark here, trying to do some kind of a diss referencing my gout. It ain't gonna work. So I don't really understand. But anyway, considering that, you know, it's something that I'm gonna also have pain with my entire life. I now have had to have lifestyle adjustments for it. I didn't know I had it. I would have been better with my health previously if I'd known I was gonna have it. You know, I mean, I could continue on and on. I have health issues, and the thing is that people on the internet are dicks. All right, they fuck around and they want to think that these things are just like funny. They're not, especially when they add up. It's one thing if you have one condition. Well, I've already told you I have 3. That's not all the things I have wrong. Like I said, I have a body that sadly seems like I have issue after issue. And the weird part about it is, you know, so my parents are getting much older now, okay? You know, they're now in their mid-60s. You know, they're getting way up there in age. And they're getting more and more health problems. And what's funny is the health problems they're getting, I already have. Yeah. My dad's back issue is exactly the back issue that I had 15 years ago. He got it later. Anyway, so I went to the doctor yesterday. I got diagnosed. And essentially what the doctor did is the doctor gave me 2 different things to do. They prescribed me a cream that is a steroidal cream, I think it's called. This is what I went through yesterday. This is my day off. So I went to the store, bought this moisturizer cream. Then I got the medicine actually got delivered same day, which was pretty crazy good. They delivered the anti-inflammatory to my house. So if I do get a flare-up of the itchiness of this rash again, I can get the rash to stop rather than take over my hands, you know. It's pretty insane. In fact, you know, one thing you can do if you have back pain, you can decompress your back, and there's various ways to do it. The quickest way to do it is just doing this, taking your hands and pushing yourself up like this, and just supporting all of your weight on your arms instead of your back. And I can already feel my back decompressing. Gravity's pulling my back downward, and it decompresses all the discs in the back. And you do this for like 10, 20 seconds. Already, like, oh God, you can feel the relief. And then you just very slowly put yourself back down, like this. Ah!